Hello, it's February and welcome to Lottie's Plot. Well, it's a bright but cold and frosty start to February, and the bulbs we put in just before Christmas have started to show. We've progressed considerably with 2 beds in place and filled with soil, but the best thing is that we've managed to dig out the paths around these beds, which has improved the gardening experience no end. Bed 3 is now in progress and we're really beginning to feel that we've achieved something good. These completed raised beds look really cool too. The soil will need improving with compost and sharp sand and grit to get it in the best condition for planting. It's still lumpy clay at the mow. But I just can't believe how much more pleasant it is to walk on the wood chip footpaths rather than wading through muddy clay. It's lined with weed matting and doubles up as a barrier against the couch grass and bindweed, whilst also helping drain the soggy soil. This is the soil we dug out to put the footpaths in. We're going to recycle this over the summer and use it in other beds. The paths feel like they're binding the beds together, adding not just functionality, but visual coherence too. The undug pathways are trodden into impassable quagmires, and we make them worse every time we walk on them. The compressed clay then acts as a barrier, retaining surface water too, but when it dries out, it'll become leather tough and useless for growing. Our next big development is the compost area. How good is that? Water harvesting is really important. There may be too much water presently, but come summer we're going to need every drop. The oversized corrugated plastic roof has a surface area of nearly 4 square metres. Rain follows the incline feeding into a gutter and then on to be collected by the tub. It rained the first night this was up and we harvested about 4 inches of water. Not bad for one shower. We've got 2 compost bays to enable us to turn the compost. The composting process needs oxygen. This heap has to breathe, so we've left plenty of gaps for air circulation. There are other chores too. These raspberry canes need pruning. But we managed to cut back the old roses to see if we can revive them. They could do with some fertiliser too. Right, okay, so we need to clear out the cold frame first so that we can put in the beans and the other early seeds in.
Well, first of all, remember we have to remove all the debris and all the stuff left behind by the previous owner.
Yeah. Seems more of a moss garden than a cold frame, but we thought we'd give it a go as the idea is to recycle what we can. The top is an old rickety window frame.
Oh god.
It's very waterlogged and heavy to lift. We're rather cautious because it doesn't look very sturdy, but between us we get it open to reveal what's inside. A really good crop of couch grass, surprisingly. Right, let's get this all cleaned up. Tobias is just the right size for this job and gets to grips with the weeds. Soon it's weeded and lined with weed barrier, so we can bring in our first crop. I've planted up a batch of 42 broad beans, Masterpiece Green Long Pod. Reliable and popular, according to the packet. So now it's time to close up and let them germinate. Over to Mother Nature to do her magic. What's next? So here we have bed number 1. It's the herb bed. They're in, they're ready to go and ready to grow. I've planted some of my favourite culinary herbs. Rosemary, bay, purple sage, oregano, common thyme, flat leaf parsley, curly leaf parsley and chives. They're sourced from garden centres and shops and look to be in good condition. It's great to be planting in these beds. All that hard work digging and making the frames seems worthwhile when I look at this planted bed. And we've also put the garlic in. Loads of garlic in bed number 2. You can never plant too much, but knowing how much we get through at home, we'd probably need to plant the whole plot with it. Still, you have to start somewhere. So that's the first beds planted. I really feel that we've achieved something. And the water butt is now 3/4 full. Well, this thing's only been here a couple of weeks, and look how much water it's already collected. It's all going to plan with the water harvesting, so I'll just check out the broad beans in the old cold frame. Oh my goodness. I thought it was all going too well. The beans, every last one of them have been eaten. All 42 pots are empty. They've so neatly burrowed each one out. The little mice. I think we're going to take these home and replant them. I'm presuming that somewhere on this plot there's a family of well-fed mice who enjoys a massive bean feast. Oh well. Badgers, 1 fritillaria. Mice, 42 broad beans. I somehow doubt this is the last time we'll lose something. On the plus side, we found some rhubarb hidden in the long grass. Dadcam just tripped over it when shooting one of his arty sequences. Nice to know he's good at something. We'll have to move it because it's in a waterlogged patch, mixed in with daffodils, which were also an unexpected find. The bulbs we planted in the front flower bed are showing strong growth, apart from the fritillarias, which are waiting for some strong sun and heat, we hope. And further good news, we now have an allotment cabin. This is just so convenient, and we can leave non-valuable but large and often muddy garden tools on site. The door's a bit naff, but it gives Dadcam something atmospheric and deeply textured to film. Well, that's it for February. As you can see, we've done bucket loads of work. Now let's get ready for March. We'll see you next month. Goodbye.